Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're reviewing the two Autumn Nation Series games. I'll probably do them both in a one-hour just for time reasons. As you can tell, this is out later than expected, genuinely due to time. A few unforeseen things came up and yeah. Anyway, let's get into it. So the first game that happened was of course England versus New Zealand. And New Zealand took this game by the skin of the 24 points to 22. This was a fairly entertaining game. I'm going to be honest. As well, I don't think either team played that well. I think New Zealand were better. England had the same problems as usual for them. Things like them basically not being able to score tries. I know they did score one. However, it wasn't really a team constructed try. It was a well picked out interception by Marcus Smith and then just a mad 60-metre dash, which to me is a little bit more of some individual brilliance by a couple of players more than a team constructed phase played try, which has been England's problem for a while and is still England's problem. Where if you compare that to New Zealand's tries, I know a couple of them. So Talia got two and Jordan got one. But if you look at some of them, yes, they were a few individual line breaks as well. But you especially look at Talia's last try, the winning try, and it was just good play by the whole All Black squad just to suck in England's players and then leave Talia out on the wing against, was it Genge or it was just gassed him. Like, I'm sorry, but if you're a front rower and you're in a one-on-one against Talia, you're gonna lose. Like, there's no way around it. So, really good by the All Blacks to just isolate him out there and get a player of Talia's quality in that 1v1. But yeah, England of course did have a few chances to win it. A lot of people are giving George Ford pelters for missing both a late penalty and a goal, and questioning Borthwick for taking it on. And this might surprise you, but I actually don't think there was anything wrong with him coming on. George Ford is usually a very calm, those kicks. So, yeah, I really don't think that you can question why Borthwick brought him on. It's not the coach's fault if he brings a player on and that player has a complete stinker. I think that making the substitution at the time he did was probably the right call. Marcus Smith just doesn't have the game control that Ford has, and when New Zealand are sitting, not New Zealand, when England are sitting, they were like 9 points or something up at that point, weren't they? Eight or 9 points up, and were what 20. Bringing on Ford, who can just keep them pinned back and if needed to try and chip over some few more points just to seal it. I'd probably make the same call. I think, not that I'm a coach, but I think it was the right call by Borthwick. I just think Ford had a stinker. And all players have stinkers. But yeah. But well deserved win for the All Blacks was my thought about that. England, you can see the progression in them. I thought their defence again was excellent. However, just their inability to finish off their chances and score tries is gonna kill them, and it has killed them. But it's gonna do a lot of damage. That yes, opting for the three often does help them. They kicked a lot of their points and kicked well for a good chunk of it. But when you come against a team like a New Zealand who will score, you cannot keep New Zealand out. It will be the same when they play South Africa in a couple of weeks. When they come across a team like an Ireland or a France, teams that you can't stop from scoring, they're gonna struggle, and they do struggle. I know they beat Ireland, but they will struggle, and they're proving it again and again. But yeah. Anyway, that's my thoughts on England New Zealand. I'm going to move on to the Fiji game now, and what a game that was. My apologies, something came up there. The game that ended Scotland 57, Fiji 17, in a game where a lot of people had it tight. And may I just say, somebody sitting right here said he can quite easily see Scotland making 50. And to be honest with you, I don't think it was much in doubt. Fiji, it was a very inexperienced Fiji team. I think they played well for the difference in quality between the teams. It was really only the first 20. I mean, that first 20 minutes from Scotland was mad. 4 tries in the first 20 minutes, 2 from Darcy Graham, 1 from Kyle Rowe, and 1 from Hugh Jones. Just absolutely brilliant rugby from Scotland. Pulling off some things like that. Darcy Graham's second, I know people are debating if it was a knock-on. My view was it hit his ankle, so it is technically a kick. Intentional or not, it hit his foot, which means it's down as a kick, which meant he kicked it, so it's not knocked on because he kicked it. I think Scotland played some excellent rugby. They dominated the ball, and then it got to about 20 minutes. Scotland were cruising. What was it, like 26-0? And to be honest with you, I think Scotland just switched off mentally a little bit. They're cruising, they're 26-0 up after 20 minutes. They're beating the clock at this point. They're against a weak Fiji. They turned off, and Fiji proving that you can't do that. I mean, Fiji's brought it back, put it to 29 points to 10 at half time. Just some brilliant play by the Fijians, to be honest with you. The only problem with them in the first half was, of course, they shipped 29 points, as well as the fact that Fiji's discipline early on let them down. They had that deliberate knock-on, which I will always stand by. There's lots of deliberate knock-ons that I don't think are. I don't think when your arm's coming round for the tackle. There was a time, what was it, in the England-New Zealand game? New Zealand had a try chalked off for deliberate knock-on, which I don't like them being given. Now, this will probably spark debates. He was already committed to the tackle. His arm was coming round. He didn't move his arm for the ball. The ball hit his arm. Yes, it was a knock-on, but I don't think it was a deliberate one. It was the Fiji one was clearly when he went for the ball and knocked it on deliberately. If you're like that, if you're trying to catch the ball and you drop and you knock it on deliberately, that's the thing. But when you're making the tackle, I don't think. But it was a deliberate knock-on. And then repeat offences. I then thought that Fiji again started the second half really well, clawed it back to 29-17, and you're going, are they going to pull this back and make a game of it? However, Scotland, I think they kind of turned back on a little bit. Another couple of tries by Darcy Graham, one by Duhan van der Merwe, and another one by Hugh Jones. And Scotland close out 57-17. Darcy Graham scoring 4 tries. For a brief point of I think it was about 5 minutes, he had equals Duhan's record of Scotland top try scorer at that point on 28 until Duhan broke it himself and went to 29. So it's a really good contest between the pair of them and Darcy and Duhan to see who can finish off as Scotland's all-time leading try scorer. Unfortunately for Darcy Graham, he has been ruled out of the Springboks game, which for me is a very, very big loss for Scotland. Darcy Graham scored something like 12 tries in his last 9 games for Scotland, including 3 hat-tricks in that time, which is just insane. Now, you can moan and gripe that, it's only against Tier 2 nations. I believe there is games like Ireland, there is a France, Argentina, Fiji, there's teams, it's not all against Romania. I know we got a bunch against Romania, but it's not all against them. There's some against some top-level teams. Do I think Scotland's ready for South Africa next week, which was kind of what this game was about in a lot of people's eyes? I'm going to actually say no. I will do a preview on it later on in the week when the teams and stuff are out, but I think that especially in the pack, Scotland have some worries that a team like South Africa, who I would argue have the best pack in the world, will dominate, will punish them. But again, I'll talk about that game closer to the time when I preview it. So there's my thoughts on the games. I thought New Zealand Probably was the slightly better team. Again, I don't think either team were that great. I thought that the score was only as close as it was because New Zealand kept knocking on the ball. I thought the Scotland Fiji actually went as expected. You put a bunch of near enough full level international. That team, Adam Hastings played really well. So, if you had Finn Russell in the squad, I don't think too much would have changed. As well as Kyle Rowe, I thought he played well enough that if it was Blair Kinghorn instead, again, not much would happen. But yeah, just expected against a Fiji team who was extremely, extremely inexperienced. I mean, what was it? Jura plus 2 or 3, practically. So yeah, good to see Tom Jordan though. He played well for his debut, but it'll be interesting to see if he gets minutes against the Buck. I would have him on the bench, but yeah. Anyway, was there anything else I was going to say? No, I think that's everything. So thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. And until next time, I shall see you later. I'll be back previewing the games. I think I'll do the 4 home nations games. So I've got Ireland, New Zealand, England, Australia, Wales, Fiji, and Scotland, South Africa. I think I'll do, just so I can do them all, but also because I don't have an awful lot of time to do all the games, unfortunately. Unless someone really, really wants me to do. I know France and Italy are playing. I can't exactly remember who they're playing though. I think France are playing Japan or something like that. But yeah, if you want me to do them, I will. But I'm just saying I'm not planning on doing it just for time reasons. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. And until next time, I shall see you later.